Today, I'm really excited to have Richie Shane with me from New York City. Welcome to Voices for Epilepsy, Richie.
I'm thrilled to be here with you, Phil. Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, Richie, like me, you've suffered with epilepsy in your past. Could you share with us, when you first had epilepsy, part of your epilepsy voyage?
Absolutely, Phil. And I would correct you right off the bat. I don't think I ever suffered. Even though I had roughly 3,000 seizures for 22 years, it's a lot of things worse than epilepsy.
I think that's a really good perspective.
And I experienced it, but I never allowed myself to suffer from it. So it came out of nowhere, idiopathic. I had just graduated college and didn't even know what epilepsy was for the most part, and found myself moaning every now and then when I was on the phone, actually, with my father frequently. And then it was happening every 3 weeks or so. Went to my general physician, then he sent me to a neurologist who sent me to a hospital in Virginia that had a comprehensive epilepsy center for 2 weeks of inpatient. And I was told I have epilepsy. So then no medicine controlled my seizures. And it grew after a few years to, again, 20 a month, combination of complex, partial, generalized, simple. And it was a choice. Who's going to win, me or the epilepsy? And I had been very athletic. I was a competitive wrestler and a semi-pro baseball player. And I told myself, I just have to work this out of me, and went to the gym more frequently and so on. But obviously that didn't work. No medicine controlled my seizures. And as you know, 10% of the people with epilepsy are candidates for surgery. Requires 2 weeks of inpatient testing to determine if you are that candidate. It has to be a safe place in the brain to get at, and a series of other tests to determine if they remove that portion, will the other hemisphere compensate? I decided to go ahead and do this because, meeting with my epileptologist, Lauren Davinsky, out of NYU, he explained to me, I remember the conversation vividly. He said to me, Richie, no medicine is going to control your seizures, because I've been on every possible medicine. It's in the emotional portion of your brain. It's going to continue, get worse, and will change who you are. And also that I had a 10% chance of dying due to SUDEP if I didn't have the surgery. So the first surgery, they removed a portion of my skull and put electrodes within my brain to get an even closer, a deeper reading, EEG, of where my seizures were coming from. After that surgery, a week later, I went back in. They got the readings they needed, and they removed 3 inches of my brain. And I am now 16 years cured. After the second surgery, I was in the hospital for about a week recovering, and then at home, I was on my back probably a week, and then would slowly be able to walk around. I mean, you have no energy. And one of the byproducts depending on where the surgery takes place, I had right front temporal, which is, as you know, where your emotions are stored. So because of what they touched, had depression, which was a surprise to me. So I'm guessing, month by month, I was able to see myself get stronger, more focused, energy. I'd say a month of not really being on my game, and then back into the swing of things. So I've got to earn the blessing that I've been given. There are a lot of wonderful people with epilepsy who are not yet candidates? Why am I one of only a handful of people cured? Despite having all these seizures, I started my own business, a travel media company, which has grown to be one of the largest circulation media, travel media companies in the country. It's well established, great clientele. And I did this despite having epilepsy, despite on the phone with a client or a potential client and without realizing it, hanging up on them just as an impulse, subconscious impulse. Not knowing the post period, the amnesia. I don't know who I was talking to, but I know I was talking to somebody about business. I'd hit redial and then say, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's Richie. I have epilepsy. I just had a seizure. I didn't mean to hang up on you." This is important for people with epilepsy. The way that you serve it up is the way that somebody else will take it. If you don't make a big deal of it, and I think in most cases, unless it's a super severe case, it's not that big of a deal. A little bit of denial is healthy. I had to work probably, I'm guessing, 10, 15% harder, longer, because I had epilepsy than if I didn't have it. My ability to focus and gather my thoughts was impaired, and maybe still is impaired to some degree. I'm not quite sure, because it's almost as an adult, all I've known is epilepsy or post-epilepsy surgery, which had its impact as well. But it's a choice. Who's going to win?
You're dealt a hand of cards. And now the challenge is for you to make the best out of it you can and not let it beat you. And
That's exactly right.
I think that's a superb message that you're spreading. And certainly in my past, I have had some significant challenges, memory, for example, concentration, fatigue. And for me, I found I can be a pretty strong-headed person. And I just said, I'm going to win.
There you go.
There's no second place. And
Exactly.
and it sounds like we have very much the same attitude in this regard.
Everybody has a challenge. And I tell a parent who has a child newly diagnosed, said, you know what, if this is the worst that happens, you're way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
There's a lot worse than epilepsy. They could still have a happy, fulfilled, wonderful life. Well, obviously I couldn't drive before.
Yep.
And a year and a day after I was cured, I took my road test. Had to take driver's ed, and then my road test, and passed it. And well, then I flew to Nice, rented a car, and started driving around the Riviera. And then came back, and I now have a boat, and the name of the boat is Freedom of the Seas, SEIZE.
Mm-hmm.
And I embrace every moment that I'm on it. I'm getting a return on the investment of having years of epilepsy and seizures. Now I'm making sure that I lead a very full life. And on my second anniversary of being cured, I said to Dr. Davinsky, I said, thank you for making my life, my quality of life so much better. And he said to me, now what you need to do is show people how to lead a wonderful life. And I embrace that. Yeah. And that's how I thank not just Dr. Davinsky and Dr. Doyle and the other medical professionals from today, but the generations of people who have done research, who have raised money for research to put me in this position. I owe it to them to lead the fullest life I can lead and to help others.